Welcome to Becoming the Ultimate Coach. I'm the Jock, this is the Doc, and we are still on our fitness trends. Today we're going to be talking about small group training. Is it right for you? So, Dr. J, let me know, are you going to swipe right, swipe left? Are you going to look a little bit longer when it comes to small group training?
On this one, I'm looking a little longer. What about you?
I'm looking a little longer too, because it's very popular right now, but I've been in the space for 20 years now, and it's interesting how it cycles. It's like, okay, one-on-one's popular, small group training is popular, large group training is popular, and it just kind of cycles. And really what's important here is figuring out what works for you, the clients you work with. And if you're constantly just looking for the next thing that you think's popular, you might come up a little bit short. So what's your take on it? Why are you looking a little bit longer?
Well, for some of the things, some of the reasons that you mentioned, right, is sort of what are you as a fitness coach, gym owner, passionate about, what fits you? And I think about a couple of things. One is from that owner or coach perspective, do you have the systems in place to do small group? Do you naturally go with that? Because when you have a lot of small group training that you're doing, there's got to be some systemization to making sure that all of those parts kind of work together well. And when you say small group training, people that are used to large group are going to expect more individualization. And are you equipped to do that level of individualization and in a group at the same time? And the other part of it is that if you are providing something to your clients and especially when it comes to anything like trends, and you're letting them know like, oh, this is a really good workout for you, this is what you need, and then anytime a new trend comes, you're switching it up, it can also kind of read to the client, if you're not doing it very mindfully, that, oh, well, what I was doing before wasn't the right thing, but now you have the right thing, and it can feel like you don't really know what's right for them. And so I'm not saying don't do it, I'm just saying you have to also be clear on some of those types of things.
Yeah, and some of the arguments I see for this is like, well, listen, if you move people from your one-on-one training to small group, you can have less coaches and you can have less expense. Or if you're taking from a very large group training and you move them to small group, then you could charge more per person. And all this is accurate, but everything's going to be on a scale there. Some people are good with paying more and want the one-on-one attention. Some people are going to like the big group classes and paying much less. So you just got to figure out where you want to be at. My biggest thing with this is don't just jump because you're struggling a little bit with where you're at right now. Like we've been doing mainly one-on-one personal training for the last decade, and it was definitely popular when COVID hit and people needed more space, and it's kind of come in and out. But it's more about figuring out what type of training you enjoy doing, your team enjoys doing, what type of clientele you have, and really kind of focus on that. That being said, you can have a little bit of each at your facility too. It just,
Exactly.
People when they like to market, they like to like be very polarizing. It's like, okay, well this is in right now. But the controversy or the issue with that is like, there's so many different ways to do it. And if you really work hard on a way, you put the systems in place, you have the team that can execute it, like you can be successful doing one-on-one personal training, small group training, or large group training.
Yeah, and it's such a good point about sort of who are you marketing to, what's your facility like, what can you actually accommodate? Because on the one hand, if you are used to large group training and that's where most of the people are paying their membership or coming to you for that, and you shift, some of them might not enjoy smaller group. They might like to be big part of a large group, kind of blend in, just do their thing and come and go. And if the same thing with, again, if they're used to one-on-one and now you're doing this, so it's also going to potentially shift your clients a lot, and you might lose people that you currently have. So if your thought, to your point is, oh, this is going to add to my revenue, my bottom line, it can add in a certain way, but it also can reduce it if a lot of your clients are moving on because that's not why they signed up originally for you. So just really thinking about that, because different people have preferences on how much attention, how much socialization they want with their workouts. And again, you might have a facility where you can do a little bit of everything, and that's great. But if you're not of that expanse, then really thinking about who your clients are and how to add value without necessarily hopping on a new trend would be my thought.
Yeah, and so really to wrap up here today, if this is something you're thinking about doing as you're a coach and you want to do the small group training, it's not necessarily good or bad. You just got to figure out what works well for you. My biggest caution here is just be cautious of the guys coming in with confidence that's going to tell you exactly the way to do it and how to make all the money and make it easy, because I like to have the conversation with gym owners and trainers, just people in general. It's like, no matter which route you choose, there's going to be some problems with that. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just figuring out like what's going to work best for you. So we'll see you next time.